What's up everyone, Coach Dan Palacios here on ATB Training Systems, and today we're going to talk about basic jump rope skills. The jump rope is a fantastic tool that we can integrate into our daily workouts. That's relatively low impact for most people, but it can be a little bit difficult to start off if you aren't that skilled at jump roping yet. So we have a few basic progressions that we'll go through to help you better learn the jump rope, learn to reduce the impact of your movements, and develop better coordination overall. Hand-eye coordination, timing, foot placement, hand placement are all essential aspects of the jump rope that will improve your fitness as a whole as you continue through your ATB training programs. It's a great way to get your heart rate up, get that metabolism running so that you can come back to the Aqua training bag and knock it around for a minute or two, then go back to your jump rope and keep that heart rate going throughout your rounds. So check out these jump rope progressions that actually don't involve jumping the rope at all. So one of the first things we want to consider when we're doing our jump rope is actually getting the right length of jump rope. We want to make sure that when we step on the rope and basically cut it in half with our foot, that it lands at somewhere about armpit height. For the average person, this is going to be a great length of rope for jumping the rope and making sure that it clears under our feet every single time. Now, when we're first starting the jump rope, if we're not used to it and we end up getting caught up on our feet a lot, we don't really feel like we have timing, what a lot of people will do by mistake is tuck in order to jump and then slam their feet down onto the ground. Now this can be, number one, really high impact on the joints, the toes, the knees, the hips, but this is also a really bad habit to develop because it's going to throw off your timing as you continue to jump. So really the key is to learn to stay as tall as possible and jump from your toes while keeping your hands low. A great way to practice this drill is to keep the rope in one hand on one side of your body, whichever works for you, rolling the rope forward and just learning the timing of the rope spinning as it hits the ground. We want to feel the rope in our hand, hear the rope hit the ground, and start to develop that understanding of when it is we have to actually jump. Now as we get that timing, we're going to keep our body very upright, very almost rigid, but relaxed, and keeping our knees soft, jumping primarily from the toes. Now, you don't have to progress to the actual jumping aspect just yet. If you find that you're having some joint pain or any kind of discomfort, just stick with staying soft on your feet and sort of gently squatting and bobbing up and down on the ankles and knees, and learn to develop that timing from one hand to the other hand, because ultimately we will end up jumping with both hands and having the rope actually pass under us. Now, another great beginner's jump rope skill to develop is the ability to do a figure 8 pattern in the traditional motion of the jump rope. We can do it with one hand, developing that timing, and again, as we develop our skills and get our feet and ankles strong enough to handle that jumping pattern and learn that timing, we'll do a 1, 2, 3 and switch hands to the other side. Now when we switch sides, we're going to cut it across our body to the opposite side. So as I pass the rope to my left hand, I'm going to cut the rope to the side of my foot. You want to really imagine that you're just drawing a line down the side of your body. And as you get comfortable doing that, you can begin to actually separate the ropes and put two hands on the ropes. Now when we do this, a great way to develop that coordination from both sides of the body at the same time is to keep your knuckles together and learn to direct the rope with your hands. When we're rolling the rope, we want to make sure that our hand and wrist is soft. You don't want to be gripping the rope or the handles as hard as you can. You want to remain relaxed and make what seems like a difficult task feel like an easy one. And that's all about maintaining the right amount of pressure as you rotate the rope. What we don't want to do is keep our wrists very rigid and create stiffness in the movement. We want to relax, and this will translate over to actually how we throw our punches later on. When we're throwing power punches, we actually want to remain as relaxed as possible so that we build speed and then create just enough tension upon impact to strike harder into the Aqua training bag. So now that you've got the basic side roll on one side of the body and the other side of the body with one hand and with two hands, let's work on moving the rope in other directions. Neurologically, our brain likes to learn one movement at a time and break it down over time. So if we consider this the forward roll, as if we were traditionally jumping the rope, we'll consider this the backward roll, where now the rope is moving back behind us as it's going over our head. We'll do the same thing by rolling the rope and creating that line across the side of our body. And as we cut to the other side, we'll pass the rope to the other hand and allow it to continue to roll as it does so. Now this is a great skill to develop because it's forcing us to move the rope in a direction that we simply just aren't used to. So it's developing new neurological pathways in order to help us learn how to move in a new way. There's a lot of great benefits to this from a learning perspective and helping the body develop more coordination through multiple ranges of motion and multiple directions. This is what true athleticism is really all about. So you'll notice I've gone into an alternating rolling pattern, and as I'm doing that, you'll see a lot of movement in my torso, in my shoulders, in my hips, and this is creating more lateral movement, which we get a lot of when we're boxing. We want to be able to pivot, shift, move, and feint as we move around the Aqua training bag. And again, this is another fantastic drill. It's actually quite relaxing, but if we want to, we can pick up the pace and go faster. So now that we have our forward roll, which is traditional jump roping, right? The roll of the rope is going under us as it passes moving forward, and the backward roll with two hands, alternating sides, developing different rhythms and timings. We're going to learn the side rolls, or what we would consider to be sort of east and west if we're thinking about it from directional patterns. So if we consider this backward or upward roll north, and the downward roll or forward roll, as in traditional jump rope, south, then we can consider this east and west. Now you'll notice, as I continue to quote unquote circumvent the globe here, you'll notice that I haven't stopped the rope as I continue to move. This is a highly valuable skill to develop because it's allowing us to better understand the movement dynamics and directional dynamics of the rope and rotational movement, which is what boxing is really all about. We want to give you the absolute best opportunity to learn everything you can during your time with us here at ATB Training Systems, and the Aqua bag is going to help you to develop much more skill and power as you hit the bag, because you're going to be tracking that data over time. Learning to rotate through these rope rolling techniques and jump rope techniques will allow you to develop more power in those punches much more quickly and efficiently. All of your rotation comes from the ground up, and as we generate power, we're going to be pushing from our feet, through our knees and hips, and up through our torso as we deliver the punch into the bag. So these dynamics are going to be hugely beneficial to taking your boxing training to the next level. So I hope you enjoyed our basic rope rolling and jump rope tutorial here on ATB Training Systems, we want to make sure to integrate this technique into our daily training with the Aqua training bag. So grab your jump rope and make sure that you do somewhere between 30 seconds to a minute of basic rope rolling. We want to do all the different patterns that we can. As we get used to doing them, we'll get better and more proficient over time. So somewhere between 30 seconds to 1 minute per round will be very helpful. We can even begin with a warm-up using the ropes to help get the body prepared to take on all of that rotational and coiling movement that we do as we move around the bag in defensive positions and then find new positions to punch from. So the rope is a fantastic way to integrate heart rate training as well as hand-eye coordination and timing for better rapid skill acquisition on the Aqua training bag. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you in the ring. See you next time.